You've probably heard that one of the most deadly building fires in recent history happened this month in the Bronx. 17 people died, including several children, and 15 others were in critical condition. So the brand new New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, got together with some allies, and they took turns chastising the tenants for not closing the fire doors as they fled the building. Ah, the great American tradition of blaming the victims. The first American Blame the Victims Invitational was held in 1621 when the Pilgrims said the natives had clearly smallpox themselves. But here is last week's New York City version, filmed by Breakthrough News.
Close the door.
Closing the door. Legislation that addresses either the manufacturing of space heaters or the need for education about fire safety or the need for self-closing doors.
Yes, when hundreds of people are streaming out of an overcrowded apartment building fleeing a fire, why don't they just shut the door? I don't know about you, but when I'm running for my life, shutting the door is at the top of the list, along with turn off the lights, scoop the kitty litter, and leave a Post-it note to remind myself to thaw the brisket for dinner. And that's the first time I've yelled brisket for dinner. I take that back, actually. I was in a porn once in Idaho Falls because I desperately needed some clams to feed the loan sharks, and the producers were trying to appeal to a niche fetish called hamdom, in which naked people abuse a meat dish. But what Mayor Adams and his co-conspirators didn't want to mention to anybody was that according to New York City law, the door should have been self-closing. Oh, interesting. So maybe this door situation is just one small piece of a larger issue called unsafe low-income housing is deadly because the slumlords don't give a shit about poor people. Not the first time I've yelled that either. But beyond just the door, the fire department has said the fire originated from a faulty space heater. Well, man, if only we had Sherlock Holmes or the American version Richard Belzer to tell us why someone might need a space heater in a low-income apartment. Spoiler alert, it might be that the building was not heated well, which again is not the fault of the victims. If only we had some way to prove the building was not heated well. But alas, something like that could only be known to Dionne Warwick, or a select few others who accidentally swallowed a monkey's paw on the vernal equinox. Oh wait, we could look at the publicly available complaint history for that building. In the past couple of months, complaints of no heat, no heat, no heat, and doors not self-closing. Well, that doesn't mean there was no heating. Maybe the tenants were upset the movie Heat wasn't airing on basic cable. I often complain to my landlord about No Scent of a Woman, but that's not about the movie. I'm just not getting laid enough. On top of those complaints, 2 survivors of the fire filed a lawsuit recently alleging that the building was unsafe with inadequate heat. Fire escapes, sprinklers, smoke alarms, intercom, and electrical lines. The entire building lacks sprinklers and outdoor fire escapes altogether. The entire building lacks sprinklers and fire escapes? Boy, you know what you lose when you take out the fire escapes? You lose fire escape. You see, fire escapes are the most appropriately named thing since airlines added barf bags. Although, one time I did use 2 barf bags as shoes when I lost my boots in a poker game midway between Chicago and San Juan. Never bet it all on 2 of a kind when the other guy has a pair of handguns. Point being, this apartment building is something H.H. Holmes would have been proud of. Let's run an experiment. Let's cram a bunch of people into a large building with no modern fire precautions, give them no easy escape, little to no heat, and self-closing fire doors that are poorly named by half because they're not self-closing. I wonder how that will go. But why would Mayor Adams fall all over himself to blame the dead and their families within days of the tragedy instead of just blaming the absentee landlord? You don't think the 2 of them have a secret relationship like Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton, or Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton, or a wad of hair off of one of Ariana Huffington's combs and Bill Clinton? But yes, the landlord of Twin Parks Northwest, Rick Gropper, was appointed to Adams' housing transition team. Adams was also the mayoral candidate who received the most funding by real estate developers out of any other. Wow, the puzzle pieces are really coming together. And this time I didn't have to chew on them to make them fit. In the style of standard U.S. political corruption, this awful catastrophe is not simply an act of God or atheist God. Instead, it has to do with greedy motherfuckers and con men. The mayor of New York has taken loads of money from a major industry, in this case, real estate developers, and therefore he is now their indentured servant, like Harvey Weinstein is to a lifer named Lars No Neck Williams. Cute couple. And we wouldn't even be talking about Adams' standard corruption except for the fact that there happened to be a tragic fire while he's in office. But wait, there's more. As Breakthrough News also revealed, there's a reason the tenants didn't heed the fire alarm when it went off.
I didn't pay no mind at first because every day, at least 4 times a day, that alarm rings. Every day, you hear me? Every day, at least 4 times a day.
When something is wrong that much, you stop paying attention to it, like Siri or Joe Biden or the New York Times. Eventually, you're like, oh, stop it. WMD in Iraq, Russiagate, climate change. But then it turns out the third one is real, and you're screwed. Beyond the political corruption and the slumlording, this whole story is actually the story of greed-based economics. Landlords have a financial incentive to not care about their tenants, not keep the building safe, not answer to complaints, and not call the pest detective to get rid of the crafty possum living under your bathroom sink. They're called pest detectives, right? What I'm saying is the business people who essentially own our society don't give a shit about you and me and any one of the low-income people in those buildings in the Bronx. This is a story about all of us who are exploited while a small group of ape-like saggy ball bags enrich themselves. But they don't want you to understand the deeper story, because then we would join together and demand change. Instead, they want you to tell yourselves, those fire victim assholes forgot to close the door. Not to mention, housing should be guaranteed and free in this country, like lower back tattoos in Atlantic City.
Hello, hello, hello. We hear what's happening, good people. Thanks for stopping by today. I just thought I'd do a follow-up video on the 333 Twin Parks Bronx Tower fire that happened on January 9th, 1919, which I feel like was a flag that was false. Yeah, I'm going to say that on purpose because I don't think you can say that phrase on YouTube anymore. But yeah. And first off, let me just say I apologize if the earlier clip annoyed you, but that guy can be a little all over the place and not funny. But I feel like he made some important points. It was important to hear some of those points. So thought I'd share it with you guys. But yeah, these pictures and links came from one of my subscribers, Shifty Eye Shady. I really appreciate the work you did. You know, we had boots on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Shifty lives not too far from the fire and offered to send some footage over. And I'm just now getting back through the footage and doing a follow-up. So I appreciate what you did, man. But yeah, let's get right into it. So yeah, there was a mass funeral arranged for the victims. And when the story first broke, it said there were 19 victims and 9, with including 9 children, but now they're saying it's 17. But yeah, yet another occult number. There's Q, but here's a mass funeral for 15 of the victims, and it's just really sad when anyone has to. Hang on, sorry about that. It's just sad when anyone has to lose their life, being caught up in the middle of some kind of agenda that has to do with the horrible politicians. But I'll show you a little bit of this. Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah. So, victims of the tragic Bronx fire were laid to rest in an emotional ceremony Sunday. Well, this article is a few days old, so I'm just now following up. So now that I see what's going on. So, with thousands of mourners filing past 15 caskets, including some no bigger than a carry-on suitcase. That's so sad for the children. The heart-wrenching scene played out at the Islamic Cultural Center on East 166th Street. There goes another occult number, 66th, or that could be a 19. Yeah. About 2 miles from the high rise that filled quickly with smoke 1 week ago, killing 9 adults and 8 children ranging in age from 2 to 50. A 2-year-old died in this fire. 1 week they were with us, now they're gone. Yeah. Members in the tight-knit Gambian community that bore the brunt of the fire's devastation packed into the Islamic Culture Center for the mass funeral for 15 of the victims. Services for 2 of the children were held at a Harlem mosque last week. Yeah, so the mayor was there too. Mayor Eric Adams, who listened as parts of the service, was delivered in the West African language, spoken by about 10% of Gambians. Yeah, of course, they're all staying safe, though, with their masks. But, this is still sad. God bless the families, and rest in peace to everyone who lost their lives in this event. But it's just horrible that this had to be the situation. Yeah. So this fire happened on the 19th. I looked up the floor plan of the building. The building was built in the 70s. I forget what year it was. I think it was 76. And there's 102 units in the building. There goes another number. 102 backwards, that is 201. What is 201? Event 201. Yeah. So now what's come out of this is your typical problem, reaction, solution scenario. Lawmakers demand new heat regulations following deadly Bronx fire. Again, these articles are a few days old. Shifty Eyes Shady sent them to me. I'm just now getting around to them now that I see the full picture. Yeah, here's your traditional stack and pack building. It's just awful. Yeah, so let's read a little bit of this. Top New York politicians demanded Monday that Congress impose new regulations on privately run housing complexes that receive federal subsidies in the aftermath of the horrific Bronx housing tower fire that left 17 people dead, including 8 children. So now these regulations are going to go towards the poor, anyone who's receiving federal subsidies, and I'm quite sure the Jabarowski is going to be, added into that as well. People who are receiving public assistance. Okay, another subject, but I just thought I'd mention it. The new rule would require landlords to install temperature monitors in buildings where tenants receive housing vouchers to ensure that apartments are receiving the required amounts of heat. FDNY officials believe the initial cause of the deadly fire was a space heater in a third-floor apartment at the high rise at 333 East 181st Street. Of course, it's the third floor. The address is 333. The street number is 181. That could be 18 or 666. And also, I looked up the zip code of the area. The zip code ends in 57. And what is 57, ladies and gentlemen? The 5th generation frequency technology. Yeah. So, and several malfunctioning self-closing doors allowed the deadly smoke to quickly fill the building. We have to ask ourselves, what was the deeper cost? Why were tenants using fire heaters in the first place? And the answer has to do with the chronic lack of heat and hot water. That is crazy that, poor people live like this. How was that even legal? How did they pass an inspection? Anyway, I'm rambling. Said Congressman Richie Torres, space heaters are often a cry for help and a cry for heat, often an act of desperation for decent and dignified housing, which everyone should be entitled to here in America. But, money, money, money. Yeah, so here's some, was this the link with the video footage? No, there isn't. Oh, yeah. So Shifty Eye Shady sent in some links here. Here's the photos. Shifty sent in. Shifty lives not too far from the 333 infamous building. Well, now infamous building. Yeah. Appreciate you for doing this, Shifty, man. It goes to 333 with the twin symbolism. Twin Parks, Northwest. The name of Kanye's kid, right? Northwest. All right, let's go. Here goes your Agenda 2030 stack and pack style building. And we're going to go ahead and play Shifty's footage here.
Shifty shading here. Standing out front of the Bronx Fire, 333 East 181st Street, Bronx, New York. Strangely enough, I was born from in a hospital not very far away from here. I find it very strange they still have this much activity going on over a week after the fire already happened. Seems like they did massive repairs. This is the place where the fire went. Second and third floor. It's like the first. Looks like a bunch of apparently African immigrants were injured and killed in this fire, unfortunately. Still very shady. So I'm here recording a video. God bless everybody who lost their lives. RIP. So, videotaping some of this. They got many contractors, locksmiths. They still got FDNY, fire investigations. Very strange. As you can see, also cop, fire inspector as well. So that's pretty crazy, man. There we go. The rest of the building seems to be all right. There's the damage. Take a walk down. Show you the memorial. And from up top. Walking.
All right, I'm going to play the next video here.
That's cool. It's cool. No worries. These are the people, unfortunately.
Yeah. Thanks for that footage again, Shifty, man. I got some of the best subscribers. You guys leave some of the best comments and everything, you know. So appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I appreciate what you did, Shifty. You know, it's pretty cool. So yeah, worst NYC fire in 30 years was caused by faulty space heater. Panic Rock's family fled apartment fire and left front door open. Yeah, you just blame the people. Allowing blaze to travel every floor and kill at least 19. Yeah, this article was saying 19, and this article was published on January 24th. Oh, that's today? Yeah, this one is from today. So yeah, the number is all over the place. Dozens injured after getting trampled and rushed to escape. So who knows how many people died for real? They're just using their occult numbers because this is what's important. And when this story first broke, it was saying this was the worst NYC fire in over 30 years. So it's probably 33 years. You know, they probably wanted to say it. Can't help themselves. But the point of me bringing this up, because yeah, we already know the details. I just want to show some of the pictures here. When I did the video before, I didn't actually have any fire footage, but it doesn't really look like fire is on every floor. Most of these people must have died from smoke inhalation, unfortunately. But look at this building. Kind of looks like it doesn't fit, you know, your traditional stack and pack there. Pretty rough. There were some interesting videos loaded outside the Upper East Side apartment. Some of the tenants were complaining about how the building didn't have X, Y, and Z. Oh no, that's wrong. Oh, that's about a woman strangled. Oh, that's the wrong footage here. How these videos shift? There were some really good videos showing. Yeah, this isn't it either, where the tenants were speaking. But yeah, they were seeing the fire alarms go off all the time, so that's why they didn't really pay attention to the fire alarms. I'm trying to see if I can find the footage with the residents. I doubt it now. Yeah, and that's in all other stuff, but yeah. So you've got your typical problem, reaction, solution scenario. Create the problem, then demand the solution, which is more tracking, tracing, technology based, smart system type stuff that they want all over the country, not in just New York. And smoke alarms have been doing their jobs for forever, but now they need smart meters to detect temperatures in the building and everything like that. Yep. So I'm not gonna go through and play all this stuff. I just want to make a quick video about this because it's pretty sad all those people had to die, especially those children. But yeah. So just a quick one. I just wanted to touch on this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. So appreciate you for stopping by. So with the paranoia is most certainly uncool. Thank you so much. Be the change you want to see. God bless you all. Again, thank you, Shifty Eyes Shady. Appreciate you. And you all have a good day. Later.